Hey everybody, my name is Nate from the Winter Time, your Lord of the Snow, and I'm joined today with our queen of, well, fake snow, because you're from SoCal. That's right.
Jay Choi.
You're like, I'm just gonna move past that. Welcome to the
Welcome.
studio, snowblower.
Yo,
Rush of ideas and just imagination and chaos. You make things, you break things in the span of seconds just with your thoughts.
kinesthetic style, but only within the mind.
Take a whole idea and deconstruct it and then rebuild it in a completely different way.
Swimming in chaos.
Welcome to
I
Just
can't
Even
with
myself.
right now.
Let's go.
So today we're going to be talking about a topic that Nate just came up with literally a minute ago. Would you like to introduce it? Because I forgot.
Also, if this isn't very 7 Wing 6 of me to suddenly pull this one out of the hat as if, what is this?
It is.
I actually cannot see. But anyways, this is kind of aesthetic is for my supposed topic, which I feel like is related, but we'll get to the part where it relates, so you have to
I
watch the whole
can't
thing to
immediately
understand it.
come up with the connection I think you're thinking of. I can come up with several, but I don't think.
I will let you know eventually, because I want to get to the point. So it's called cycles. So really all I studied up upon was the weather. No, I'm kidding. It's not the weather cycle. I'm talking about cycles in era. Like era, time. Like, for example, we had the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, all the way down to right now. We are in our new 20s. Now, my question is it going to be a whole new situation, considering the climate and the atmosphere socially and economically and everything that's happening? Or are we doomed to have another repeat, like another Great Depression in the 30s, in the upcoming 2030?
Well, I have this ENTP mentor, and he essentially says everything occurs in cycles. So what he did was he studied his favorite time period in history, everything he could about it, and he's like, and the thing is, if you study that, then it'll repeat itself. So I know everything I need to know about today. And
See? Yeah.
he does. He's the smartest guy I know. He knows everything. Inspiration, super inspiration. But yeah, I don't know. What are your views on this?
I mean, I feel like we are bound to a future, situation again. I don't know what people keep talking about, like a nuclear wasteland situation, which again, now I'm referring to this, right? If you were right. If that ever does happen, because life did not turn out well for the political atmosphere, then that probably is doomed to happen. But then am I going to be surprised? Absolutely not. But regarding if we were feeling the whole repeat, I am part half and half about it, because I used to think, from what I've observed from looking back, at least in history, you got your musical revolution. I'm gonna go stick to music for a second here, just as one angle. You got the music revolution from the 20s all the way down to now, but I have a feeling it will become really stagnant because people are now realizing that there's nothing really creative anymore.
Well, yeah, that's true because everything that can be created has been created.
Already been done.
But
right?
The thing is that we just need to make new connections between things.
There we
That's where
go.
the novelty comes. But what I was thinking also was that isn't it crazy how up until the point where you were able to record music and put it on something, any music you heard had to come from either you or people around you.
That's true.
But now we can listen to anything we want from anywhere we want, from anyone we want. And I find that so interesting. Literally,
now, would
if
we
you
have a
wanted
stagnant
music,
era? I feel like we would have a 10-year where nothing creative will have a good time, because everyone's just kind of tapped out. I don't really understand anything anymore, and then there'll be a resurgence.
Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like that has to do with postmodernist theory. Postmodernist theory of everything sucks and we can't do anything about it, so we're just gonna die, right? So that's very postmodernist. And then metamodernism, which is a new theory that theorists are talking about, is everything sucks and it seems like nothing's gonna happen, we're still gonna try. So that's the new people who are coming up, Gen Z.
Well, of course, we're gonna have counterculture again.
Yeah.
Right now we have the cancel one.
It's the way that you are raised by a certain group of people, so that you become like this, and then you're raised by this group of people becoming this. But then it cycles. I believe it cycles every 3 or 4 different types of groups. That's why we keep track of generations.
I mean, I remember having a conversation with another ENFP, and Mikey, if you are listening, it was a conversation I had with you, where he had a conversation with another guy about it, who I believe was an INFJ, irrelevant, I think, to the topic, but they brought up the whole topic about like Graves' theory, for example, spiral dynamics, where the cycle is not necessarily a cycle; it's more so a direction. Because a lot of typology theories are horizontal theories where everyone's is theorized to be at equal standing, where we can all kind of reach for greatness at our own
compared to Graves where
path.
it's like levels.
You actually have a level, and it explains why, let's say you are having a misunderstanding because your mental territory is only focused in a specific area rather than you're looking at it from a global scale. So right now, how we saw in era, and you go back millenniums, you got the stage where people used to be struggling to survive, and then you had back to the stage of people were believing in like animism, shamanism, all those things about where, if I tilted this rain stick and rain came down, therefore I have to tilt the rain stick for rain, like that kind of thing, like the sun dancing.
Correlation does not equal causation.
Yeah, but because they're not there yet to to really examine the world around them, because they were more focused on maintaining a community. They didn't have time to kind of move out of that way. And then you move forward again, or move up into the warlord stage, where you're like focused on conquering, and you have a lot of seeking to have an identity. Now, this could be applied micro to the person, to the individual, but since the topic is cycles, we're going to go into the macro stage. We're looking at it from generations, and it's like I kind of see it because like right now there seems to be a clash between the grave 5 versus the grave 6. So you got folks who are like trying to capitalize and get profits and seek a lot of, take advantage of the resources. And then you have a bunch of 6s arguing that the resources are very little.
We need to sustain. Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're moving in a way that is, we have to move forward, or move up again to 7 or 8. I heard from a lot of other people who understood or read around spirals. They say that everybody needs to speedily get to 7 as fast as they can, because 7 is where you can blend in and be able to adapt yourself, because you get to start applying all the philosophies you picked up. But there's a side of Graves that's a little bit difficult, where if you sped all the way up and you didn't take the time to fix your traumas,
you need to go through them. That's why they
come and bite you back in the ass.
Yeah. So. And some people are lucky and they get to kind of like, I want to say like land in like a better spot than other people, but you still need to work through from where you're at. I guess that's where my question kicks in. Like, is this going to be a cycle situation where, because we are unable to break out of our own prison cells, or the architecture of our own prison kind of situation, where we're doomed to repeat our past mistakes? Or are we going to just move up again to try to seek of another way to fix the pre-existing problems that we already have? Honestly, I think that it has to be generational. Like, as much as, let's say, people are moving up in their Graves levels, like, it would have, I think maybe someone generationally, like maybe this generation will only be within like +2 or -2 from this, like level 5 or something. And the next generation will be level 6 +2 minus, right? Like, so, but okay, sorry, to go a little more elementary, something I was thinking about, like in junior high, I had to watch this video about during like nuclear attacks, right? The students at that time were taught to duck and cover when there were bombs, right? And it was like, basically it was stupid because that's not going to save you, right? So there's like this stupid little catchy song goes, duck and cover. My friends and I would make fun of it. They
actually got the song too?
Yeah. So my friends and I would kind of make fun of it, but like then my friends and I, when we got to like high school, then college, we had to do active shooter drills. And then they're just like, like teaching us what you do when someone's shooting. They're like, run, hide, fight. Those are like the 3 steps. So first you run away. And then if you can't help, then you find somewhere to hide. And then if they're going to kill you anyway, you fight them.
Is this related to like this? Wait, you said shooters, like school shooting type of thing?
Yeah. I'm from America.
That's actually, no. When you said it, it kind of started to make sense because it happened. That's kind of funny to me, because humans, I guess, as a species, have proven that we only ever really do precautions after a catastrophe.
We don't have any preventative.
We don't really prevent. We're reactionary type of creatures.
Because
clearly.
It's really hard to, like, even if you have like a visionary who's like, hey, look, this thing might happen, let's prevent it. You can't get the money until it happens.
Yes.
right? You really can't
because
get the
by
money.
preventing, you're also you're preventing profits.
If you
also.
prevent it, then the money will go there, and then nothing will happen, and people will be like, "Why are we giving you the money?" It's like to prevent the thing that never happened. But then it's like, how do you argue it? You know, the whole thing is hard to argue for.
Yeah, it's true.
Not that that makes
Wow,
it
that
right.
is something
but
to take away from this episode, that we're more of a reactionary species
for sure.
than we are preventative. I mean, I remember the age old, was it, philosophy of experience is the best teacher. I don't necessarily agree with it. I guess as an intuitive, I don't see the
Yeah, I
value
was
in
like,
it.
that's a very sensitive thing to say.
It's so funny to me because I don't necessarily have to experience anything for me to say that I don't want to do it.
You can
However,
imagine it.
I get the I get the point. Like, I get
Mhm.
what it means, what it's trying to say. It's just that I've seen it too many times. People apply that kind of mentality, and they go through such a hard life, which, in my opinion, could have been avoided. But then again, as an intuitive, I'm the one that's, let's say, cursed to be able to think about those things.
Well, it like depends, because sometimes like as an intuitive, you know, we can sometimes read into things that didn't happen, right? Which is like cool, but on another hand, it can make you very like unable to actually do anything.
Oh yeah, like
So,
paranoid.
like polar SE, for example, like it's a lot harder for them to actually be able to get out and do what they need to do, because they are living more in their heads, because they can, because their intuition is great, you know, and they have their polar SE, which I don't know.
That's
Honestly,
true.
it's such a roadblock. Like I think if you have really low SE and really low TE, it could be so hard to like go and do stuff. Honestly, like for example, like INTPs.
Yeah, I would say INTPs and
Ignoring
INFJs.
TE.
INTPs and
INFJs
INFJs.
Yeah.
I mean, let's bring in the INFPs also. Let's throw them in the mix. And I don't know so much, not necessarily INTJs, maybe ISFJ would probably have a little harder time too sometimes.
I could see that.
I don't know. It's just fascinating.
And again, just to like clarify for using my FE a little bit, we're not saying you can't do anything. We're saying you might have this tendency to not act when you actually can act. We're not saying you can't act. We're saying you can.
If the audience is taking away that we're telling you can't, you're misreading this completely.
Yeah.
We're giving you a shot to tell you, to prove to us that we're wrong. So take that.
The thing is that it's like, especially with like one of my INTP friends, like he has so much potential and he has so much passion, but sometimes he just doesn't do anything. And the
same.
is like,
absolutely. I can make a critique about my INTP as well.
And I would love to help him. I'm like, I can help you, and then suddenly sometimes pride comes up, and I'm like, okay. Like, you already know you're smarter than me. Like, that's not the point. The point is you could do something. And the thing that makes me mad is because he is smarter than me, but I'm more successful than he is because I actually do something.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you have this much potential and you don't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.
It's frustrating because, like, it's not frustrating in, like, it doesn't benefit me at all if he does something. Well, a little bit, but you know.
Well, it's an exercise in our empathy in a way, because you can actually care about how another person's success.
Right, and also
that has nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would love to see you succeed. Like, especially like, we're really good at seeing potential. NE, we're really good at seeing potential, even sometimes when potential doesn't exist. You know. But yeah.
That's why it's so funny. With my friend, I would say he always tells me, it's like, you're a spokesperson.
Is that your
like,
friend?
Yeah, and I was like, but you realize he has a better handle on the language than I do, which is so funny to me. Like, it's just
it's like you could be doing what I'm doing, but better than me.
Exactly. Like, I just so happen to be a chatterbox, and that's, you know, I love to talk. Therefore, here we are. But
yeah, I mean, a lot of people say like, oh, but like, you can do that because you're confident. And I'm like, then you be confident too.
Yeah, confidence is. Wait, let's save that for another topic. Confidence.
Okay.
For another episode, because I have much to say on that too. Actually,
for confidence. I'm pretty sure that's on our list.
I think so too. But anyway, cycles.
Let's like start to close out, because
sound off in the comments below. What do you guys think? What are your theories? Is it gonna, come back? I feel like everything is. I would say, as an NE Dom, whatever your opinions are, whatever your position is on it, or if you're so sure about it or not, be honest, and I will still take it, because I'm intrigued to hear. Yeah. I want to be able to know, like, what do you personally think? I feel like a lot of NI users are gonna have some wild ass theories,
And
which
it'll be cool. I want to listen to them,
absolutely.
yeah.
I'm so fascinated when I hear like NJs give me what's up when they're like, you know what? Let me tell you what's gonna happen in 15,
Yeah,
20
they'll
years.
tell us our 5-year, 10-year plans. And they'll be right, obviously. Yeah, and
Oh,
just to clarify again, like Nate and I, we don't get offended. You can challenge our views because our views are probably not that like set
I
in
think I don't even like, man, like for people to get, if you feel like we're gonna get offended, yo, you haven't been watching. I've been
like
trying
you're
to
gonna be
poke at
offended,
y'all
go
for
back and binge
every
your
episode. Yeah, for the past how many episodes? Like it's almost 20 episodes. I've been trying to poke at everybody, and like
yeah.
nothing. Come on.
Anyway, we'll see you on our next one where we talk about confidence.
Confident.
Bye.